Slaptail Squad, assemble.
If you're listening to this, you are a member of the Great Slaptail Nation, my nation. And who am I? I'm the Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great, small, and Lord High Commander of the Great Slaptail Nation Army. And also the world's greatest podcaster. And you know that because I did not hit my drink or anything on the table like I'm pretty sure Nolan did just a few seconds ago. Way to go, Nolan. I caught it. Also with me today, here live in the Beaver Den with an ass so fine it'll make you want to violate the first commandments. She is the Padme to my Darth Vader, the evil into my Skeletor, the Harley Quinn to my Harley Quinn to my ever so sane Joker. She is the killer of fun. She's a boner destroyer. She is the Swan. Say hello, Swan.
Hello, Swan.
Swan, how art thou?
Disgruntled.
Okay, nobody
I
cares.
used that word to my therapist, and he was like, "That's a pretty interesting word." And I was like, "Well, I have better words, but you don't want to hear them."
What's interesting about disgruntled?
I don't know. It was my choice of word, I guess, because I don't know. He just thought it was interesting. And I was like, "Well, do you want to hear my better vocabulary?"
Hey, raise your hand if you want to hear about
No.
Swan's therapy session. No one. All right.
All right.
Oh, no. I guess it. Never mind.
Anthony, you don't have to be nice.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's a rookie mistake right there. Rookie mistake.
Sorry.
Also with us today, all the way from Kalamazoo, where he is the king of Kalamazoo County comedy, where he reigneth supreme. He is the Swan's young intern. He is Chewbacca's little nephew.
Okay.
He is Nolan. Put that cock in your mouth, John Cock. What up, Nolan?
Hello.
Hello.
Not the Swan's protege or her apprentice.
Intern.
Or her intern.
You have reached intern status.
Would you prefer sidekick?
Nope.
Sidekick.
No.
Where is
My
your
larger
crown?
sidekick.
Where's
That'd
your
be
crown?
cool.
No.
That'd be dope.
Nolan, where's your crown? Why don't you have a crown? We should get you a crown.
I find them gauche.
Oh, I see.
He can't find one to fit his head.
You know, gauche
That's
is
also true, yeah.
Gauche is an interesting word.
Gauche.
Yeah.
Gauche.
It's a callback. Also with us today, all the way from New Mexico, he is our guest today. Why he decided to be on this comedy podcast with us, goodness only knows, but he's going to have a good time. He is.
Wait, we're a comedy podcast?
Yes, we are. Anthony Dyer. Well, I know you're not funny.
Hi-yo.
Got him to laugh.
Yeah. Anthony Dyer is a former U.S. Air Force Special Missions aviator with over a decade of experience in special operations aviation. He flew high-risk missions around the globe, earning multiple accolades, including the Air Force's Jolly Green Rescue Mission of the Year in 2018. Originally from Sylvan, North Carolina, or as I like to say, North Cackalack, in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, Anthony brings the same courage and grit that definitely defined his military career to his work as an author and mental health advocate. His debut book and memoir, Moonchild, offers a raw and compelling look at war, trauma, addiction, and recovery, shedding light on the invisible battles many veterans and service members face. Anthony, thank you and welcome to the Slaptail Squad.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Pleasure to be here, man. Looking forward to it.
All right. We'll see about that.
We'll see if we can change your mind.
Right away, we're going to kind of do our thing like we normally do, but right away, before we get into it, I do want to ask Anthony this very important question.
I hope it's not my question because I have a list. Can I go first? No, just kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead. If you ask my question, I'm going to be so
There's a very good chance that I am not going to ask your question, Swan.
Okay.
Do you really think that you're going to ask the same question?
I don't know. We're going to find out because mine's written down right here.
Okay. Anthony, as someone who was in the Air Force as an aviator, and you were on a C-130, correct?
Yeah, I flew in the AC-130 gunship as well as the HH-60 Payhawk rescue helicopters.
Oh, sweet. Dope. Okay. Now, I know that you were not part of the crews that would ferry around us members of the 82nd Airborne Division because you were on a Spectre gunship. Obviously, you didn't have room for us. But you probably have known people who did that. Do you know why, after we hooked up, everything would be fine and flying smoothly, and as soon as we stood up and hooked up, they would dip the plane really quick and all of us would fall forward? Did they do that on purpose?
Yeah. I mean, it's so we're talking about a regular C-130, right? And to be honest, man, there was a lot of banter. I'll paint a picture here between us and them, right? So they would tell us like we're like NASCAR with guns because of the left-hand turns and guns hanging out the side, and we would call them four-fan trash cans. So no offense with that, but knowing those guys, they would probably do it to be a, I don't know, smart ass or something like that, and cause a little bit of turbulence on your way out, a little bump, something like that. But I could be wrong on that, but there is things like naturally like wind shear and things like that of that nature that you can't really predict. The winds can shift like that, especially at altitude, and they can definitely cause some turbies there for you.
We naturally assume they did it on purpose since it happened every single time.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
And the same thing with the C-141s. That would be the same thing. We're like,
Yeah.
it's really odd that as soon as we stand up and hook up, all of a sudden the plane tilts and we all fall.
Well, that was not my question.
No way.
So I just want to let you know it wasn't my question. But
I
they
would
were
totally do that
probably
if I was
just
the pilot.
yeah, they were probably just checking to make sure
Totally
you
do
were
that.
all hooked up. So if you weren't, you would have definitely fallen even more.
Oh no, they were just fucking with them.
Yeah, they were just fucking with us.
They were.
It's true. It's understandable. It's a
All
fun
right, I
thing
do
to
have
do.
a quick question. So did you fly the plane or were you one of the gunners?
So I was
Yes.
what was used to be called aero gunner. They now call special missions aviator, which is really a fancy way of saying like on the gunship, for example, they combine the gunner with the flight engineer and loadmaster. So you have one person wearing those three different
damn.
hats throughout flight. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it used to be like
Okay.
very like compartmentalized. Like, I guess back on the H model gunship, which was cool because we had the same tail numbers like 6.9 and 7.2, and they were the same, airframe, structural airframe part of it as like Vietnam, right? So what they called Spooky and Puff the Magic Dragon, and the reason they called it that
Right.
in Vietnam is because when the 105 goes off, it leaves, especially if in the daytime, which is rare we find today, but it does happen. You can see the smoke puff from it, so they call it Puff the Magic Dragon for that.
Yeah.
So a lot of
And
history,
you're
a lot
talking
of
about the
sort of
howitzer.
folklore. Yeah, 105 howitzer, yeah, which we could.
The howitzer.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful thing to see when you had all 13 crew members, in this organized chaos sort of fashion to get 10 rounds per minute out or more with the 105 there. It was my favorite thing to do. We called Gunner Pro with that. So
Yeah, that is awesome. I know personally, because when you go to Fort Bragg, they do a lot of joint ops, especially in peacetime. Because I was in peacetime, the longest period of peacetime we've ever had in our 200 plus 250 whatever years, and we did like minor stuff. But if it's not a major thing, the 82nd's not going. Like they don't just say, "Oh, you guys can go for some minor thing." So we did all these joint operations with the Air Force, and sometimes we would get Navy gunfire or whatever. But if we could hear, and we still called it Puff, even though it was a Spectre, we still always
yeah,
called it Puff. When you can hear it coming in, it's the coolest sound. Probably the only thing that compares to that might be the A-10 Warthogs. But they're still dope when you can hear them coming in. It's freaking cool.
oh yeah, and yeah, and that's a good point, man. Even the enemy, like the Taliban, at one point knew specifically about the gunship, Spectre and Spooky, and they would hear your prop noises, and there was really two types of sort of like gunship missions. There was a kind where like you plan for there's this operation, you guys on the ground are going after some heavy hitter, some HVT, if you will, and you would get literally like a pager back in the day, man, and certain numbers meant certain things, and like one of them was those type of operations. Then other numbers meant for like a tick, like a troops in contact, and there'd be this moment, man, that I never really got used to, where like we'd be rushing our way there to get there to the guys on the ground, and like they start hearing your props and they start running like bees. But as the squadron motto there goes for the 16th Special Operations Squadron, you can run, but you only die tired. We actually have a coin that's like a beer opener with that, So I always look forward to those moments, if I, in some weird, I guess, crazy way, but I chase those moments, and really it was all about making sure the guys on the ground got home. That was, to me, what it was all about.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I often tell the other squad members, because I'm the only one who was in the military. I often say, people don't seem to understand is that being a young person and having all this responsibility and all this amount of firepower and all the stuff that you're in charge of or that you're working with when you're really a child, and you're like, oh, I have this massive responsibility and I'm super, super mature, but I'm still childish. And to do all that stuff, you're like, God damn, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, and my wife, I'm still very immature, man. I'm actually somewhat just proud of that, I guess, in some weird way. But yeah, man, there's a lot of as you know, sort of the dick and fart jokes make a deployment. Those funny moments and those darkest nights, right? That's what gets not just yourself but everybody through that. And there's a lot of flying wise, especially a lot of like a drone time, like ISR type stuff, where like what bugged me the most was those very quiet moments where nothing was happening. Like that's when
Mhm.
shit could really go wrong, when you least expect it. But that's why somebody would always we had this thing called the gunner net called P1. It's like private one net, and man, it was pilots would jump on that thing sometimes, and we'd run them off with some of the stuff we would say. And what was crazy about it? Some of the girls I flew with would make guys blush, man. They were worse than we were. You know what I mean? Believe it or not.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can totally believe that. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep peppering him with questions here and there. See if we can get him to chuckle. In honor of you being here today, what I'm gonna do my grand rounds. Is everybody ready? It's gonna be so awesome. You ready?
But can I ask my question?
No, god damn it.
Fine. I was
Fine, ask your
my
question.
My question has nothing to do with anything because I looked at your history and where you grew up, and we like cryptids a lot. So, do you believe in the Mothman? Do you know who that is, and have you ever seen him?
So I don't believe in the Mothman. I've never seen him. I do, however, believe there's certain Appalachian things that are very unique to that area. Like you don't whistle at night, and the people always ask me why I believe that. It's because basically, especially if you're out in the woods and you whistle at night, you're inviting that entity or that spirit, whatever that is, that's usually never good, into your home type thing. So there was like that, man, and just little things like don't go in the woods and like knock a piece of wood together 3 times because something will usually respond. And
Mhm.
there's the Appalachian Trail itself. There's all kinds of stories about people hearing like the mimics, right? Like these things would mimic like someone in their family's voice, and people swear by it. And then, my wife's Native American. She's Navajo from out here in New Mexico, and what was cool is like I recognize the skinwalker belief back home. A lot of people believe in that, the Appalachian skinwalker. Then out here is sort of where the skinwalker legends started. But when the Ute took the Navajo slaves, and the Navajo made the skinwalker curse, which created the skinwalker, and that's sort of what that show Skinwalker Ranch, how that whole name sort of started. So I love folklore like that too, and I could talk about that for hours. But yeah, it's a good question.
Wow. Good
Well,
question,
I thought it
Swan.
was interesting just because maybe he's seen some shit out there.
I think the
Yeah.
better question, not that it's a bad question, but have you seen weird shit while you're flying?
That was my follow up to that. Have you seen any weird stuff that you can't explain or definitely like that?
So me personally, I've never seen anything that I can't explain, and I sort of got indirectly asked this question because of this age of disclosure, all this stuff, right? And the best way I can answer it would be like, the Earth is older than I can even fathom, right? And the universe is bigger, and it's still growing. I can't even fathom how big that is. So for us to be the only ones, would be a very sort of, I guess, selfish and naive thought, right? In all this space and time, So if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Nolan
You're
is
muted.
just talking away. Look at him.
Talking. He's
Look
muted.
at that little fella.
He wants to say something so bad. But
I
good
was just
job
gonna
on
say
that
that,
mute button, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a pro. I was going to say that I actually recently heard a theory that we're actually living inside of a black hole.
Hmm.
And that's how the universe propagates itself with more universes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you see that?
interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Do you guys follow all the CERN stuff where they're was it large hadron collider or something like that over there, and I
Yeah,
think it's
something like
Germany.
that. They're trying to destroy the world. Yeah.
Yeah, that's to me that's terrifying, man, because you're getting I think there are protons, and like these tubes are miles long, and they're colliding them together, and rumor has it, or whatever you want to call it, that they think if you get it right, then you can create a black hole. And my thought would be like, why would you want to do that on Earth, right? Because it would swallow us all whole. Yeah, never understood that whole institute, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah, a black hole the size of a grain of sand could swallow the Earth in like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's completely ridiculous. It's just as if none of them have ever seen a science fiction movie.
Yeah, I was just thinking that about AI. Like all of our science fiction about AI is don't do it, and in
we're
reality,
doing
we
it.
just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like
But
we're 5 years away from having AI cop robots with like fully automatic guns just roaming the street RoboCop style.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to test it out in Detroit first.
oh
which
yeah,
will just be
well sure.
hilarious.
I mean, you got to stick with tradition. We already got the statue, so might as well. All right, Swan, great question. Sort of. All right, here we go.
Go.
Members of the Great Slaptail Nation, it's time for Beaveman's Not So Grand Rounds. Goddamn, my intro goes so hard.
So hard.
So hard. I call this Give me that bag quick. Motion sickness, air sickness, sea sickness, car sickness is a self-limiting syndrome. What does that mean, Nolan? Self-limiting. Good question.
It goes away on its
Okay.
own.
Goes away on its own.
That's what I
Triggered
thought,
by-
but
Hey, you can't be wrong. It doesn't matter.
You can, and we'll just make fun of you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was.
I'm wrong all the time. I'm a deeply fallible person.
That is true. Anyway, it's a syndrome triggered by real or perceived motion caused by sensory conflict between the vestibular, think inner ear, cranial nerves, visual, and proprioception, which means the understanding of where you are in space and time, proprioception.
Oh, fun.
So when actual motion mismatches, the brain's internal model gets confused. So it can resolve spontaneously, or you can desensitize yourself with exposure.
I haven't met that yet.
No, you truly have not.
Raise your hand
come
if
from
you
a
get
race car
motion
family.
sickness. Oh, me, times everywhere.
I don't know if I told you this, or if it's in the book, but I actually threw up on an instructor in a minigun pattern at Kirtland in the 1860s. Yeah. It is, and man, this is a rabbit hole to go down. But basically, so I was on my recommendation ride. And before your check ride, you have a recommendation ride where they throw the gauntlet at you, make sure you're good on everything. And it was the gal to the minigun cert, and I was sitting on the left, and you're at night, man. It's July in Albuquerque, so you could imagine the temp, and they can bend the tip of your ammunition, right? And basically like induce a malfunction. And then also on top of that, I didn't load my ammo right in the ammo bin, so basically I kept giving myself malfunction after malfunctions. And the minigun, yeah, you have to to clear it. You actually have to spin it. You have to spin the barrels to clear it out, and it was like 4 or 5 malfunctions in a row. And finally, like we had both cabin doors on the 60, and my instructor is on evaluation himself for my recommendation ride, so he's getting an instructor check ride. And I was like, man, I all of a sudden I quit scanning, right, like looking at a moment on the ground to sort of recage myself, like you said, where you're at in space and time. And so basically you look under your NVGs and you try to fix your gun and everything like that. And I was like, man, I gotta puke, bro. And I was like, okay, if I lean outside this window enough, this gunner window enough, and I just pop my mask off real quick, then I can puke and it'll just go outside the aircraft. I was dead wrong, bro. I did. I was like, what? And it goes slap. Like it went back, and I looked, and it fragged my instructor out, and he didn't even say anything. He was so mad, bro. He gives me one of these, But yeah. And I had to go see like the the flight doc after something like that. Make sure you don't constantly get air sick. And it was a one-time thing. Otherwise, you have the aerospace physiology, the chair you've heard about, I'm sure, where they get you used to it, used to it, and exposure. And I never wanted to go to that, man. So I'd fake it till I make it, whatever I had to do. But I never threw up again on anybody after that one. So
I threw up on that at space camp.
Spin you around.
Yeah, they spin that thing over and over. And I even seen one time that looked haunting. I was like, nope, I don't never want to get to that point. So
I did that as a kid on a field trip. It was fun.
Yeah.
I did that on the Gravitron.
I'm from a race car family. I'm built to go fast.
Nice.
I have
You're
a lot of
just too big to fit in a race car, dude.
You can't fit in my Audi.
He's like 6'4".
6'2".
6'2", okay, and gigantic.
Yes,
So
we had to
you're not-
cram you in my Audi, and your poor arm went numb because you couldn't. He had to have his arm back because he couldn't
The
fit.
whole time. My head was touching the top of the ceiling the whole fucking time.
Jeez.
Yeah,
What type of Audi do you got?
That, my ass bones were just.
I've got a little TT,
Nice, man.
an Audi TT. Yeah.
Those German cars are ripped, man. I had a BMW one time, man. That's probably the fastest car I owned at the time. But yeah,
They are good cars.
Oh yeah.
All right,
They're just not
presenting
made for
symptoms.
big bodies.
Yes, sure they are. Germans are big. Presenting symptoms. Primary symptoms are nausea and vomiting. Duh. Typically with a gradual onset from progress for early warning signs to frank emesis, meaning puking. Here's the fairly fun part. The early or prodromal signs. Stomach awareness. Feeling tired and drowsy, irritability, yawning, feelings of warmth, and increased salivation.
It's that part right there that does it for me.
Just where you're like,
your mouth is all like,
oh,
I can't do it. I can't do it.
This causes facial pallor, cold sweats, hyperventilation, slowed heart rate, and then
all of
low blood pressure,
all the bad things,
dizziness, headache, difficulty concentrating, apathy, blurred vision, eye strain, increased sensitivity to odors, appetite loss. At that point, when you know someone is suffering, you usually talk to them about something like, eating green beans with bacon and then throwing it up. You have to talk to them about something like, the crust that forms at the corner of people's mouths when there are those people that talk a lot and they get the white spittle on their mouth and the crust that forms there. Or you talk to them something about like, try not to imagine disemboweled gophers, anything like that, where you can help the person along.
Or basically like just fart. That'll help too.
Are you trying to make them throw up?
Yeah, heck yeah.
This is how you help people.
This is
Nolan.
how you help people.
Oh,
Nolan.
oh man, I got a great one for that.
This is how you desensitize.
Turn the
people.
heat on and make it extra hot.
No, that's when you get real close and you start whispering in their ear. Hey, just a friendly reminder, your parents had to fuck to make you. Just think about that.
That might
Your
backfire.
dad going to town on your mom.
Yeah, it might backfire on you. You never know. No, usually it's an odor thing.
Yeah, like sometimes you guys ever been so hungover, like where you want to throw up though, like you want to get better. Back in my heavy drinking days, it wasn't uncommon, man, where I'd pull my own trigger. You know what I mean? Which a lot of times even that noise would make other people, get sick at like a party or something like that. But sympathy symptoms, whatever they call that.
I've never actually had to put my own fingers down my throat. I feel like I just go to the bathroom and I just kind of stand there and clench my stomach until I throw up.
Yeah. Yeah, usually it's what'd you call it? Excess, like salvation and stuff like that. That was my sign, man, where I knew like I needed no assistance at that point. It was coming,
As we used to have where you would go and, if they said the weather's iffy and we're gonna go on a jump and the weather's iffy and you're like, oh shit, please don't fly us around for hours and hours. And they would just keep looping around and coming back to see if we could do the jump. And so when you're doing something, a normal jump, you're like, you just get on the bird, they fly an hour, you jump out. But if it's bad weather or there's other issues, they just keep doing circles on what they call racetracks.
Yep.
And then you always have people who are pukers. And the minute one of them starts puking, and you're crammed in there. Well, I never did.
And it's hot.
Yeah, it is very hot. It is very hot in there. And you're crammed in with your equipment, and then just people start puking. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're like, get their bags, and you have to jump out with the puke. The Air Force are very specific about that. They're like, you have to take your puke with you.
We're not cleaning. We're not keeping it.
They're like, put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
No, that happens to me when they keep you stuck on the runway and it's like hot and you're just sitting there on the airport on the runway and you're like stuck on the plane. You can't use the bathroom. It's definitely hot. The air's not circulating and it smells really bad. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. And you have to puke in front of everybody, and then you smell your own puke and you puke some more.
Yeah, you are the worst to travel with.
I am awful.
Horrible to travel with.
I even take Dramamine and everything, and it's still.
Well, we're gonna get you scopolamine from now on.
Yeah. Anyway, back to puke.
Motion sickness, generally benign and self-limited, but consequences can include, and this is where it gets scary for someone in Anthony's position or even the people that were in my position, is it can alter your level of consciousness. You can get extremely, if I ever got sick, it was because, and I got really fatigued. That was what happened to me. I wouldn't throw up or anything, but I would just be so freaking tired. And then I'd get a headache. That is usually what would happen to me. And when you're impaired that way, how are you supposed to accomplish jumping in, walking 12 miles and then doing a live fire exercise? And that's peacetime. You imagine what everybody else goes through when they're in combat. Now all you can think about is this annoying fact that you're nauseous. Now you're fatigued and probably dehydrated. It just gets worse. So if you ever feel like you sit back and oh, military people have easy, I don't know why anybody would think that, but they go through so much shit that it's almost beyond comprehension, everything that they have to deal with. How can you treat it? We already said habitually, learning how to do things to adapt to it. And of course, my favorite, ginger.
Yeah, ginger snaps it.
Ginger.
What do redheads have to do with this?
A redhead usually makes things so much better if it's a chick.
It's their pheromones.
Real quick, I do want to say I'm 2 for 2 for making Anthony laugh.
He's just being polite.
Yeah, because we don't find you funny at all.
When you said redheads, my mind went to strippers there for a second, man. So I don't know how that popped in their notes. Yeah.
That's all right.
Then you're fitting in well. Everything usually goes to shit or sex.
Really?
Yeah.
Best thing to do for it? Drink water.
Puke it up. Let it happen.
Let it happen. Unless you're all crammed in the same soft space, which sucks.
That does
Then make
suck.
sure you puke on someone.
Yes, not yourself,
Make
someone else.
make a memory out of it.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Well, see, the thing
So
is,
10 years down the line, you'd be like, "Hey Jerry, remember that time I threw up on you? Yeah, fuck you."
yeah, that's a good plan. But you see that people in the military tend to be very vindictive, Nolan. And even though that is a funny joke and they'll laugh at the time, oh, they're gonna get you.
They'll save it for you for
Yeah,
later.
They fixing to get you.
that's called brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I picked
But
on
anyway.
someone, put it in the book, man. So it's that guy actually emailed me after one of the podcasts I did, man. We're really good friends to this day, but I don't think he knew it was in the
Called
book, but that made him actually
Called
get the
it.
book and read it. So yeah.
He's like, hey, that was me. That was me, you guys. That was me. Speaking
Yeah,
of the book, so that was my not so grand rounds. Just a little taste of air sickness for all of you who are getting dry mouth. Speaking of the book, here is as you can see, the image of Anthony Dyer's book, Moonchild, a memoir.
The
Nice
roots and
little
wings
graphic.
of a USAF Combat Special Missions Aviator.
Nice. So, what was your motivation for writing the book, other than, of course, everyone becomes super rich for writing a book, so lucrative.
Yeah. It all started, man. I was in my my last sort of year in Air Force, man. I did my last, so I went from gunships to rescue helicopters. Had a really nasty CASEVAC in East Africa. Then came back and that caused some trauma from that day alone. But went back to gunships, did my last deployment there, and I think it was July of 2020, and basically realized that it's slowing down, mission sort of slowing down. That my sense of purpose was over, and man, I had a hard time really dealing with it. And what was a weekend drinking habit of a pint, it became a pint a night, with sleeping pills, Ambien, things like that, just to get to sleep. And it really had a huge problem, man. Got crazy there for a minute, and I started getting help through the USOCOM, the warrior or the Preservation of the Force and Family with USOCOM. And basically, what that is now is, I believe it was McCraven came up with all this, but like you have a physical therapist, a MFLAC, which is a psychologist, and then a physical trainer in each squadron or unit in USOCOM. And part of that process is you're writing it out, right? They're getting you comfortable being uncomfortable, where you can just basically peel back that onion to that point of trauma where you can talk about the whole story, sort of like we're doing now, just conversing back and forth. And then they time you saying it, believe it or not, man. And it's really crazy. And I had all this stuff sort of written down. And when I got out, and when you get your DD 214, you walk out this personnelist type office, right? And you walk out this door, there's no door handle on the other end of that door oftentimes, right? So you can walk out this machine, but you can never truly get back in. And what I mean by that is making sure you guys on the ground go home. That was my life, man. There was letters all around that squadron, and there's my why behind the gunship mission really was there was a ranger holding his baby girl. He got to go home and see his baby girl. And when that's over, that's a hard pill for a man to swallow, and created a huge problem for me. So I was like, you know what, like maybe this struggle of sense of purpose, this identity, whatever you want to call that, I can write this out, and there could be similarities between other service members and these very normal men and women doing these very uncommon type of jobs. That it's okay, not to be okay, but it's not okay to do nothing about that, right? And that's really the main message and the reason why behind getting the book out. So
yeah, I think it's super important, and you make a good point, because a lot of times people don't know where they're at, once they're done.
Yeah.
I didn't really have that. I mean, I don't think I had that problem so much. I mean, I missed it, and I knew I was going to miss it, but I immediately went and gravitated towards a job that I thought would kind of fill that void also.
Yeah.
So I went and became a nurse in a trauma center.
Yeah.
And I was still helping people, which was different from learning how to kill people to learning how to help people. But it was still a pretty similar environment in some ways. But yeah, a lot of people, they're just kind of lost, and there's not enough put in place to kind of help people when they get out, in my opinion. At least there wasn't when I got out, which was a really long time ago.
When dinosaurs roamed.
Yeah, and I will say that that helping is healing in a way. If you think about it, right? I think the redemption you find today could be someone's salvation tomorrow. That sense of purpose, or just even like I tell people, like, get your 4 quarters when you get out of these type of jobs, right? Those 4 people that, like, no matter what, they'll pick up the phone for you and you for them, right? Not 100 pennies, but those very few friends that make our life worthwhile, and that we lean on, man. So that's to me, it's really what it's all about: camaraderie and brotherhood and sisterhood and all that comes with that life,
Yeah. And I know when I hear stories like that, when someone's like, oh, I have, alcohol and pills, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, who fucking gave you those pills? I'm like,
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
prescribing sleeping pills?
yeah,
Yeah, well, like in many of the cases that you see, because I see them, they're prescribed while they're in the military. Like
Yeah, I
from
never
100%,
understand that
100%.
because that didn't happen when I was in. There you literally didn't even go see anybody for any condition, and if you did, it was like you got ibuprofen. So that was it. So yeah,
This does remind me. This just reminds me of a fun World War II story. Because they were just giving the soldiers whatever drugs they had on hand back then. So a lot of guys would have like leftover stuff and try to come home with it. And they'd get
Yeah.
caught. And the guy would be like, "Do you know what this is?" Like, "Yeah, it's go juice. They gave it to me to keep me
Yeah.
awake in the fucking foxholes." Like, "This is amphetamine. This is just straight up
Yeah.
amphetamine. You can't take this back."
but in World War II,
You know,
you could buy
they still
amphetamine.
call it that. You know, they in a way they still call it that. No, they call it go. There's in flying you get what you call go and no go pills, right? So like and I don't know if they had this when you were a paratrooper, but for flyers like getting Ambien and Restorol was literally just going to the flight dock, right? And granted, there was limits they would give
Mhm.
you, and I was so bad, man, where I would save mine on lots of deployments and come home and drink with them because I was that much of an alcoholic and an addict where I wanted that help going to sleep and just that buzz to escape, and then some guys get like the fighter guys would get like go pills, which would be in fact a some sort of amphetamine or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I saw the writing on the wall when I was in. I guess this would have been, I guess 2001. Um, you know that people I knew were getting deployed because they were in, like, I have a friend he became an officer and his unit was getting like sent, and he was sending pictures of stuff that they were getting over there, and they were drinking what do they call it, rippets or something like that,
Rippets.
Rippets, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
like,
rippets.
yeah,
Wilmington
nonstop.
rippets.
And I kept telling him, I'm like, stop drinking those. Stop, do not let your men drink those. And to sit there and see all the stuff that they were sending over there and the people that I'm like, you are creating such a health problem for these people when they get back. First of all, if you're drinking those and you're not drinking water, you got a good chance that your freaking heart's gonna fucking explode.
Oh
They're
yeah,
addicting you to that extreme caffeine. None of that is good for them. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Have we gone back in time again, back to when they were giving, shit that you shouldn't have been giving? And it pisses me off to no end because I know if I had have been gone and done that stuff, I wouldn't have done any of that. I'd be like, no, fuck no, you're not doing that. And then I hear rumors from people that were in there like, oh, they're giving the SF this and that. And I'm like, they fucking better not, because they're just creating this problem that we keep repeating
yeah,
every like 15, 20 years. We're repeating a problem, and you're just going to create addiction. That's what you're doing. But it's also my belief that they're just trying to kill us all.
yeah.
Conspiracy.
Could
That's
be.
My
right.
conspiracy is that they're just trying to kill us so that we're not the largest armed force in the United States, because the veterans is the largest armed force in the United States.
And everybody's had a rip it too, right? I think the global war on terror alone, man. Because if you remember that they were the small cans, right? And I had this conversation with a buddy the other day, and the ones downrange hit harder. I don't know if it's because like you're sort of cleaning yourself out with alcohol and all that, and you can't drink. But man, the ones downrange, I swear to God, they hit harder, man. And the guy agreed with me. He's like, yeah, I think you're right, man. Like, and they were the little minis, so it was literally was
Mhm.
like me beside a 105 millimeter and a 40 millimeter at the time, and two other guys shotgunning two rippets before a tick or an op or something like that, So yeah, not good.
Yeah, I mean, addiction in general is a bitch. I mean, back in
Yeah,
my day when it was peacetime, like everybody would take smokes and dip to the field.
yeah,
And I didn't do either of those things. And I was always like, I could make so much money if I bought like 2 or 3 logs of dip with me and just sold them when I'm out there.
yeah,
But I didn't want to carry the weight because we
yeah.
carried everything. So I'm like, I don't want to carry that shit. But yeah, it's the whole addictive personality that they seem to like foster, and really
Well, and you guys
just
are young and impressionable, and you're all like, yeah, we're all doing it. It's camaraderie. We're going to do it together. And then yeah.
Little
yeah.
historical aspect. A lot of militaries across human history have had addiction problems. It's like, hey, these guys are killers. They've trained killers. They're dealing with a lot of shit, so a lot of them just do drugs.
Mhm.
I think it was almost ritualistic too. Just, hey, it's a battle. Everyone get really fucked up before we go do this because we're about to hack people to bits with sharp metal.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, and,
Yeah.
and flying aviation in general, man. Like you would debrief, man, and like at home station, right? Like every flight you debrief, and some of them things are knockout, drag out. Like those things get mean quick, and there would always sometimes they're not so mean, but you get like a 12 pack in front of you after every flight, so you sort of see this heritage thing with aviation, and and even Top Gun, they the guys drinking on the beach, like that's a real thing, and we had when I was on rescue, we had these things called naming ceremonies and the green feet ceremony, and after someone got their first combat rescue, you would get these green feet tattoos, and it'd be the air crew, and then often the PJs in this lounge, man, where we called it the what it called the Lingoy Lounge, but you'd have this huge jolly green giant statue type thing, a minigun, and then you'd have a toilet bowl with pretty much like tequila and green food coloring, right? Green's a big thing.
Sure.
And there was these rules, if like you had your phone in there, you were taking 3 shots, the grog, and stuff like that. So, but to me, I could never turn that off, man. It was a very like all or nothing. Like I'm not gonna go to a bar and be like, hey, can't you just have 3 drinks to be social? Like, no, I can't, man, because I think we're all very all or nothing type men and women in those worlds, especially flying.
Yeah, I mean I think too is it that people seem to think that you guys are doing that thing and you're detached from what you're doing, but you're not detached from what you're doing. No more than someone I mean, really think about it. Like if you're a door kicker, everybody knows you're kicking indoors and you're shooting people. They don't expect you to like shut that off. They know that you've dealt with that.
Right.
But for some reason, people think that like aviators, pilots, all those things, they're shooting up an area and it's just a target to them. But they know that their target
just
is
misted
personnel.
20 guys. Like
so they don't. You don't
Yeah.
shut that off. But some people seem to think that they're detached from doing it. I'm like, no, they're not. They know what
the
they're
drone
doing.
pilots have some of the highest like PTSD levels because of the detachment of it. It's like, oh, I'm playing a video game and I'm murdering dozens of people.
Yeah, I've never really thought of it that way too, especially for the drone guys. Because you're right. There at least was a problem with I think there's even a movie about that, up in Vegas. Those guys, but it's because they're in like this closet type atmosphere, CONUS, right, at home station, and you're smoking some dude out and God knows where. But I think what was always in the back of my mind too was the why behind that. Like for a gunship specifically, like you're providing that close air support for those unconventional forces. You're literally like there's a reason we're shooting every time, or this high value target they're going after has killed dozens and made dozens of bombs, which killed our brothers on the ground. So even though that switch was there technically, like, but I always knew the why behind that close air support. So as far as like remorse, and stuff like that, like it wasn't that. It would be something like a bad shooter, like one of our guys not making it, an Eagle, an American not making it home. That's the ones that really create a lot of that trauma and those problems for aviators in general.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that I don't think a lot of people put much. I don't think they think about it too much. I'm like, well, you should think about it because they're going to think about it later, whether they're thinking about it now or not. If you're completely detached, then there's something completely wrong with
There's
you.
something wrong,
You got a personality disorder. But most people are not like that. But yeah, when you're going about those things and when you're talking about being those things, you're not sitting there going, oh, I'm doing this because of this political reason. You're doing it to get your brothers and sisters home.
Yeah.
The person
that's
beside you.
And that's what it's all about. Like you said, not politics. It's about literally and that's what, to me, patriotism really is. It's about the men and women beside you and nothing else. It's about each other right at that point. So
yeah, you want to get them home to their family. You want to get home to your family. You want their children to have a parent. All those things.
Oh yeah.
Well, so to break it up just a little bit so we can have some more fun because it's getting too serious and I think Nolan's going to fall asleep.
I'm fully awake, asshole.
Yeah.
Super important question. Out of all the armed forces, and I'm going to put up some examples here. This was the best I could come up with. Out of all the armed forces, which females look best in their dress uniforms? The first one I'm going to throw up is a United States Marine in her Marine dress blues. I could not. I actually, the search term I did was hot Marines in their dress blues.
You got a lot of dudes, didn't you?
No, I did not get hot Marines. I was like, okay, well, this one's pretty. So I was like, well, I'll just pull this one up. Imagine her any way you want. So here we have the example of a hot Marine in her dress blues. Keep that in mind.
Are you going to show them all and then we're going to vote, or we're going to vote now?
Yes. No. I'm going to show them all. Space Force, I didn't bother because their uniforms are tough. Sorry, Space Force. And I didn't do dress blues on everybody. I just did dress uniforms. So this next one is the one that I wish they would have had when I was in. We
You're
had dress
giving your
greens.
bias. Stop giving bias.
Well, they redid their uniforms, and I really like them because they did them like the old timey World War II shit. So they have like they're like brown and pink, brown and green, so they look kind of cool. So this is a female in her dress greens for the Army. I think they look dope.
That's old school right there.
Yeah, I like them. I think they're quite cool. The men's uniforms are freaking sick. But yeah, we had lame ass ones. We had lame dress greens. They got dress blues after me too that were really nice, but I didn't get those either. All cool shit ended. All right, so that is the Army. I did a Navy enlisted person in her dress blues, which I thought was cute. Well, a cute outfit. A little sailor.
Oh, you should have told me that you were doing that. I could have got my friend in her dress blues because at least she's
Why, is she
like
cute?
hot. Yeah.
Lies.
She looks very
Your
pretty.
definition of hot and my
She's-
definition of hot are clearly
she
two
looks
different
like a
things.
Disney princess. She is
Please.
tall and thin. And
Swan, the last woman you said was hot was a dude in a dress.
oh, whoops. Yeah. Stop talking about Stefanka like that.
Yeah, and then lastly, here is the Air Force chick and hers.
God damn.
Well, she gets my vote based on her face.
But look at her hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
no,
got
she's
the size of
hot.
the hands.
man hands with the.
Is this
Maybe-
AI? This AI?
That's just
AI
AI.
still can't do
This
hands.
is literally a real person. This is a real person.
Uh-huh.
Man,
Sure is.
I got to go with the Army one. You got a Pearl Harbor type vibe, you know, if you're into that
Yeah,
old school
that's
type
right.
stuff, you know. I
Yeah,
got to.
I like it.
You guys want to hear a funny story about Michael Bay and Pearl Harbor and all that?
Oh, sure.
As it relates to, so they were in the first Transformers, right? This story was passed down to me. I was not there for this, but it's gunship legend and stuff like that. This gunner we had, and long story short, Tyrese does the infamous scene where he says "Bring the rain" on the Decepticon, right? And then Spectre comes in this unbelievable rate of fire, which is not accurate, but anyways, they kill a Decepticon, the gunship, and then I guess they all go out, and this is at Florida, like near Herbert Field, and they all go out after for drinks, and my buddy, legendary gunner, he asked Michael Bay, or first Michael Bay asked him what he did. He's, I'm an aero gunner, you know, SMAS they call us now on the AC-130 gunship. You know, this scene. And then he asked Michael Bay what all he's producing. He starts going down the list, and he's like, he says Pearl Harbor, and like my buddy stopped me. He was like, man, he goes, I got to be honest with you. He's like, Pearl Harbor. He's like, that movie fucking sucked, man. And so in the in the movie they call it Spooky, which is like our rival for Spectre, the gunship squadron, you know. It'd be like calling a Yankees fan a Red Sox fan or something like that to us, you know. So he got it. In the end, Michael Bay got the last laugh, man. So
This is funny.
yeah, it's swinging a miss. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that's good.
no.
It's a good time. Good time. No, I think it's funny that he told me he's like, Pearl Harbor
He's like,
sucks.
man, that movie
He actually
sucked,
kinda
man.
did. That movie did suck. I thought that movie sucked. I was like, that movie sucks. Whatever.
I could have used less romance and more action.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It was like just way too much romance for me.
You
I'm
have
sorry.
to hit all levels, though. You can't get.
No, you don't.
Can't take your girl to that if you're gonna not have like.
Who
the-
cares?
Yeah, you can.
You
right,
gotta have a
whatever.
way
I'm
better
saying,
movie than that. Like you gotta have an
what-
epic scene.
Wasn't
Yeah,
Matt
an
Damon
epic
like a
scene,
total
man.
Jody in that movie too? Like
Yeah, he was like banging his
It's
friends.
Matt Damon in that?
It was one of
yeah,
them.
was it
Who
Damon?
knows?
It was Damon and
No,
Affleck, I think. Yeah. I
No,
could
it's
be
Ben
wrong.
I know
Affleck and
Affleck was in it. I just don't remember
Josh
Damon.
Hartnett. Wasn't it Josh Hartnett?
Was
That
it
was
Hartnett?
Armageddon.
Yeah.
No.
It was just
Yeah,
Hartnett.
but it was
I don't
Hartnett.
know.
He was the Jody.
Who cares?
Yeah, he was like,
Armageddon
he's
is
I'm gonna bang my
hilarious.
friends. I'm gonna bang my friend's wife or girlfriend.
No, Armageddon is hilarious because at the end of the movie, Ben Affleck is banging Steve Tyler's daughter to Steve Tyler's music.
Yeah,
right.
that's a rough one.
Man.
It's like,
No,
hey, bud, maybe
Oof, yeah.
look at the script before you like sign off your musical rights.
Yeah. No, you got to have an epic scene. Like there's no scene in Pearl Harbor where I'm like that was epic. You got to have an epic scene like in Apocalypse Now. That entire movie totally worth it just to watch the Air Cav come in. Best part of the movie.
That movie's just awesome in general.
I mean, yeah, but there's a lot of downtime where you're like, meh. You know that Marlon Brando was so fat that's why they had to keep shooting him in the shadows.
Yeah, he also refused to learn his lines, so they had a guy with a cue cards off on the side. Which is why he
You
never
can't
broke
really
eye
look like-
contact with the camera because he's just reading the lines.
Yeah, you can't really look like a special forces like badass commando when it looks like you haven't pushed yourself away from the buffet table for 3 years.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, so
Nice tits.
So Anthony says the army chick Swan, what say you?
I'm going with the Marine chick because she has a hat and cool buttons.
Like a gingerbread man?
Yeah.
Gay.
Yeah, because the Air Force girl's hair looks all nasty. You can't have
We're
all
talking
like
about the uniform.
I'm just saying, but you have to take the total package. She looks like total package. Her hair is neat. She looks serious. Her buttons are all good. She's in like good. The other one's got like I just did something and my hair's all foo-foo.
Yeah, she
and
just blew a dude.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was
It's
gonna
awesome.
say. No, that's not appropriate. Like military
Not
hair.
appropriate.
Yeah, and then I don't like the Navy's ones because her pants look too frumpy and baggy.
I like the Navy's uniform. I think it's cute. I wanted to try to fight one. I wanted to try to fight in a white one. Someone in the white sailor's uniform, like a hot chick in the white sailor's uniform, because they have the little thing that they tie.
Yeah, you should
there.
have asked.
I couldn't find one. What say you, Nolan?
Air Force.
You're going with the Air
He's
Force?
going
You like
for
her
Air
uniform?
because he likes like the.
Oh yeah, the uniform's
fucked
great.
look
I
there.
love the uniform. I
You're
love a
supposed
woman
to
in
be looking at
uniform.
the uniform.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
love that shade of what is that? Blue? Yeah, blue.
Ah, yeah.
You can't even see the whatever's on her like under her lapel because like her lapel's covering up her medallion.
Wow, boner killer. Way to go, Swan. Who cares?
Well, okay, you're telling me to look at the uniform, and you guys are saying I'm killing the boner because you guys are looking at her hair.
I got to go with the Army, man.
I'm not looking at her fucking hair.
I think the Army one's dope. Especially if they wear the...
I do
don't
like
like her
the old school
shoes.
uniforms.
If they
are nice.
With the new uniform, I think the enlisted are wearing the old the cunt cap too. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
How
Air
are
Force
they-
chick's hand sort of weirds me out a little bit, man.
What's that?
That Air Force chick's hand, man. There's something weird going on there for real, man. Like my good hand
Yeah,
type
those hands
situation.
are
I
big.
feel like her hands must have been moving when the
Yeah.
photo
That
was
could be
taken,
it.
and that
Yeah,
explains
probably.
the blur and weird position.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. So now that's the dress uniform. Now, just from me personally, from memory though, if I had to pick which one looks best in combat uniform, it's a toss up. It's a really big toss up for me because there's just something about a chick from the Marine Corps. Yeah. And I don't know if they're still the ones that they wear their digital crap. They probably have a different one now, but here's a Marine Corps chick in her fighting garb. I don't know what they call them now. Who knows? Back in my day, they were called BDUs. And they were woodland. Here's an Air Force pilot.
Okay.
We let women fly planes now?
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Kidding.
There are women Rangers. And then here's the Army chick. So
I'm going with Army chick on that one.
why? Because her hair is on point.
Because her hair's on point. No, just I mean, because I feel like that uniform would probably make her butt look good.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Going with the Army.
Tighten all
Army
the right
chick.
places.
Yeah, I gotta go with probably the Marine on that one, man. She probably do like 87 pull-ups or so. You know, she's very fit at least, right? Like,
Yeah. I still.
You like a woman that can beat the shit out of you, huh?
yeah.
There's something
What do they
about
call
a
that?
Marine. There's something about a female Marine, in my opinion. I went to high school with this girl. She was a year older than me, and
You
I
never need
never
to worry
thought
about arguments as long as you have crayons on you.
I know.
cheap shot of the Marines. Yeah, I don't give a shit about male Marines, but female Marine, something about them. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, this girl I went to high school with, a year older than me, she joined the Marines. I was like, no way. And then I saw her on leave, and I was like, God damn, you are like 1,000 times hotter.
Just because you had the uniform?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I just need a moment. I'm all right now.
Did you ever have that wingman back in the day, man, that would jump on that Moab for you? You know, those 240 shorty types. You know, you never had those. Or... I was
No,
that guy, man.
I got married too soon. I foolishly got married.
Not to me.
No, not to you. Oh, so you're saying I foolishly didn't marry you?
No, you foolishly got married to that one.
And then you foolishly did it again.
Foolish of me.
No, that was me, the foolish one. That was me.
I see.
He's your second husband?
No.
Okay, well then how would you get married again?
She's
Not
confused.
again, just once.
She's
was
confused.
enough.
Okay, well I said again, which the basic comprehension of English would probably let you know I wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
Speaking of basic comprehension, Swan, do you have a piece of shit?
I do.
Are you guys ready for some piece of shit?
Piece of shit.
All right, piece of shit. Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to our true crime segment known as This Week's Featured Piece of Shit, presented by our crime news anchor, the Swan.
Alrighty then.
All right, then.
Nolan.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Nolan
All right, in.
Can't even pay attention.
Nolan smacked his lips.
A Utah couple has pled guilty to the death of their 18-month-old daughter after investigators uncovered what prosecutors described as a prolonged pattern of severe neglect.
No, this isn't a fat kid again, is it?
It's not a fat kid, quite the opposite. Mitchell Chestnut Murray, age 31, and Carrie Marie Murray, age 32, of Nebley, Utah, entered guilty pleas on July 2nd, 2026, for child abuse, homicide, and aggravated child abuse, both second-degree felonies. They're going to be on trial and sentenced in 2026, September 2026, and face up to 15 years each.
That's it?
That's it. Their daughter, Ruby Marie Marie, Marie, died on March 19th, 2025.
They might have done that kid a favor with that name.
I know, right? No, that is
Should almost
not
be
even
illegal.
right. The Utah medical examiner determined that her death was caused by complications from malnutrition and dehydration.
How? Just feed the
Oh, so
kid.
the opposite of the last kid.
Exactly the opposite. According to court documents, Ruby weighed only 17 pounds when she died.
At 18 months?
18 months old.
Jesus.
Detectives reviewing surveillance camera and baby monitor footage alleged that she spent nearly all of her final 4 days of life confined to her crib. During that time, she was removed only for over 6 hours total in 4 days and had less than 50 minutes of direct interaction with another person in 4 days. On the day before, Ruby never left her crib and only received 49 seconds of parental interaction. Her diaper was not changed that day at all.
Well, I mean, on the plus side, there probably wasn't anything in it.
Probably not.
If you're not eating, you're not drinking. There's probably not anything in it.
Authorities said Ruby's crib contained old food, multiple sippy cups. One was covered in filth, and they could hear on the baby monitor whimpering, crying, and gasping during her final night.
Wow. Thanks for that story.
No problem. He's a real piece of shit.
Jeez.
Here's what's fucked. The dad worked from home, and he described what he called crib days, during which she remained confined to her crib while he worked. When Carrie Murray was a registered nurse.
Oh my God.
And she told everyone that she thought the child died from SIDS, age 18
At 18
old,
months.
but that is no longer a usual cause of death. And neither one of them felt guilty and have no sense of guilt over this. And when they called 911,
burn them with fire.
We should. Carrie said when they were doing the 911 about attempting to do CPR that Ruby was beyond help and did not attempt any life-saving measures.
Fire from the feet first.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you know what you could do is tar. So you just do drips of tar on them, and then you rip it off. Drips of tar, rip it off. Drips of tar.
Seems fitting.
That would be super painful.
I got a better one. This is ancient medieval torture. We're going to put them in a vat of milk, and we're going to feed them butter and honey whenever they want. We're just going to leave them in there, and eventually rats and other insects will find their way in, and they'll slowly devour that person's body as it's pretty much liquefied by always being submerged in the milk.
Yeah. I think mine's better.
Here's a piece of shit. You guys probably can't see it.
Next time you can actually give me the photo when I can actually pull it up.
Why do they always look like that?
Because they're always pieces of shit.
Wow, now I'm super depressed.
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Swan.
You asked for it.
Wow, what a horrible...
these are supposed to be entertaining, not just straight up depressing.
What a fucking horrible story.
Like, hey, I want to hear about fun depravity, not like the depths of human sorrow.
Yeah, so Anthony, tell us a funny story from your book then, because now I want to go jump off.
Yeah, save the show, Anthony.
Save the show now.
Yeah, I got you, man. One of the, I guess, more funnier moments of my book, man. So we were getting ready to shoot this operation one out in the gunship, and this was the AC-30 whiskey. So we had the 30 mil, and long story short, there was the drone guys, right? They were in the what we call the stack, because you have different air players at different altitudes, and you have a JTAC on the ground controlling everything, and we have this sort of chat room type thing on these operations. And long story short, the drone guys were what we call SA bomb, like situational awareness, like stating the obvious, and a lot of these moments, right? It's like chaos. You're trying to listen for those words clear to engage, because we have to get clearance from the guys on the ground, the JTAC, because they're buying the rounds at that point. And so we're waiting, we're waiting to get those words, and things are heating up, and the intensity and the JTAC's voice, all that stuff, and the team guys and all that. And then finally, my pilot, aircraft commander, he's like, "Hey, Dyer," he's like, "Tell those dick shiners to get off the radio." I was like word for word. He's like, "Yeah." And so this chat room, I didn't know about this whisper feature. You could like whisper that to the person that's tying up the comms and being a nuisance and stuff like that. So in this whole, from colonel, probably general colonels down to enlisted me, I put all caps, "Hey, dick shiners, get off the radio," and so we end up I think it's shooting like 5 guys or something like that, and what we have RTB when you return to base, we're getting ready to check off to go back to base after the op was over. You hear on the radio like, "Hey, Spectre 6-1, come when you guys get RTB, come see me." And it was this Army like full board colonel, and we didn't even go see him, I don't think. But long story short, man, yeah, we just ducked and went to bed. Probably took an Ambien then too. But
hey,
yeah, he was
wrong
like,
branch, asshole.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, Dick Shiners, get off the radio, man." Yeah, so that was my first run-in with the drone guys, and it's a little funny moment in the book there.
Yeah, the whole cross branch doesn't usually go well.
Yeah.
Like, "Hey, come see me." "Yeah, I'm sorry. Who? What? Sorry.
You're
What?
cutting out a little bit.
I can't hear you."
Like, we had the crew S, thing we could
That's
always pull.
nice.
"Hey, I'm on crew S," so go back to sleep for the next one.
Yeah. No, that's really quick though, with shooting with firing out the Spectre, does that like alter the flight path, or do you have to fire both sides at the same time?
So you can do basically 2 guns at the same time. It's called dual target attack, but they're both on the left side, but the one that moves it the most, to answer your question, like the 105 millimeter, it recoils up to 49 inches before we could shut it down if it recoils more than that. But long story short, I think it's like 7 degrees, and you're in this loose left orbit, and it moves it like 7 degrees out each time. So the pilot, he's up there getting this geometry, rate and coincidence, and maintaining that tight gun orbit. So.
And when
So they have to keep constantly adjusting every time the gun fires.
Yeah, and now it pretty much, the way computers are, it does it for you. But back in the day, he was on that tight gun orbit.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because so like when you're the gunner, is the pilot telling you when to shoot, or are you directing the pilot?
That's a good question, man. Because basically the aircraft commander, he has the A codes, what we call it. He has the ultimate responsibility. If and we have a saying like, the guys on the ground on the rounds, we on the switches, like basically not get us in a bad shoot. In the end, it's our responsibility not to shoot the, God forbid, wrong guys or get a civ cast or something like that. But yeah, and so the pilot, we would all listen for the clearance to engage, and there's this whole checklist called the pre-strike checklist that you're running down all these different comms. And usually this happens within like 7 seconds from those words coming to us, right? And the enlisted SIMS operators back in the day were the ones that actually hit the button, so to speak. And then there was moments where, like, if the firing pole went out, we would turn into like an artillery guy where we would tie some 550 cord parachute cord to the firing pole, and they'd get the ready fire call from the sensor. So it's just basically this 13-member crew back then. Now it's like 7 or 8, all working together, all with a basically an arm safe switch where you can enable the firing or inhibit it, and all rounds going out, within that very quick time. And as opposed to like a 60 gunner, yeah, you're the guy that's actually on the trigger on the minigun. And the Gal 2, you had 2,000 rounds per minute on the right, 4,000 on the left, and 50 cal, I believe, was like 750 to 850 rounds per minute. So yeah, huge difference there. But in the end, it's all the crew's responsibility. We have a saying: there's no rank on the aircraft when a round leaves. It's everybody has an opinion. Everybody can speak up if something's unsafe, right?
Yeah. Well, the arms fire is so different because I was a door gunner on a Black Hawk for a year.
Yeah.
And so because the firing is so less, I guess you would say, so small comparison, that you're directing the pilot while you're firing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember like steeping left, steeping right stuff. That was one of my favorite
Mhm.
things to do in the 60. Like the 50 cal, you do the U attack. You're literally looking straight down at your target when he's doing that U. And he can be like steeping or loosen his little mini orbit and you're shooting straight down at the target at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like was the very narrow, what do you call it? Field of fire.
Yeah,
Because
it was. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like that how they show it in Vietnam and stuff. Like, no, now you have this tiny window, and that's all you can work with to do your shooting. It was still fun though. Like, that's
Yeah, what was chaos about the 60, like the racetrack patterns, right? So like, you'd have one guy firing on this side, right? And you're firing basically 2 clock positions off his nose. Then you got to dip your gun as he goes through your field of fire. And then when he's clear, you start firing again. So there's a lot could go wrong really quick, as I'm sure you remember from that part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and mine was just peacetime stuff, so
Good.
so fun. Good times. Good times. Watch the dirt kick up. See some dirt, baby. Well, that was a fun story.
I'm really sad that Steven isn't here because I had a lot of questions about like flight stuff, but our friend who is
Head bottom surgery.
yeah, head bottom surgery. He didn't really, but we're just making fun of him.
Yeah, asshole surgery.
He's in a wheelchair and we rip on him a lot. His name is Steven and he's okay with it.
He's okay with his name being Steven?
No, he's okay with us ripping on him.
He's
being
not
in a
okay with his name being
wheelchair and
Steven?
He's okay with him being Steven too, but yeah. So he plays a lot of, or like does a lot of flight simulator stuff with like, I got the pilot stuff and I have all these programs and stuff. Like, how real is it?
Man, I would love to talk to that guy because that's what I do now, the CAE simulators.
That's why I did so many questions on that.
Yeah,
but
man,
he's
that's
not here, so we might have to have you back on to talk about flight simulator.
Probably let him speak.
Yeah, I would love that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I do every day in my day job. Is I get to train here at Cannon Air Force Base on the MC-130J Commando 2, the AC-130, and then as well as the U-28 platforms. And man, I literally get I'm not a big video game guy, ironically, but now I get literally paid to go set up these scenarios and be in there on motion playing this $80 million video game. So I think I sometimes take that for granted. And sort of like you were saying earlier, be mad about like sort of stepping into something that's similar to your past life and the Army and stuff like that. And it still gives me that sense of purpose, man, and helping train, as they say, the future air commando, stuff like that. So
yeah, it's super beneficial. That's just another way. If you look at it, your whole life is just basically based around service in some way. Always doing something for the greater good, which is super important. You could be someone who just makes hamburgers, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you make a really good hamburger that all of those troops need to eat.
Yeah.
They're trying to do a dig on me because I'm a burger flipper.
hey,
you've never made me food.
You've never come into the place I fucking work.
I mean, you can only make food at work?
Yeah, what the hell?
No, and I'll give you some motivation here, man. This is from a chief of staff of the Air Force. I can't remember if it was Welsh, but long time ago they were in when Iraq kicked off. When was that? 2003ish or something like that. 2004. That version of Iraq, and he goes basically there, and there's this 2 airmen, right, and they're in chow hall, and he asked one of the airmen, he's like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" He goes, "Oh, I just make salads, sir." And he asked the other airman, he goes, "What do you do for the Air Force?" He goes, "Oh, I make the best damn salads the Air Force has to offer, man." So I think anything you do, man, in life, if you run the race, you got to run it to win, right? So that's a little motivation for you, and as cliche as that was, man.
Fucking burger flipper.
There you go, man. And I love burgers, man.
Wish I could eat them. I mean, I love them. I just can't have them.
You can have the meat.
Can't have the bun.
Can't have the cheese. Can't have the bun.
Beefman's allergic to all fun food except like 2 kinds of meat.
Pretty much.
Basically.
It's rough. My body's rejecting itself.
I already have another one then. So I listened to a couple of like the podcasts that you were on, and you were talking about how you did like SEER school and you did like the water survival part of it. So I want to compare your experience to the Beefman's experience of that. Like the part about where you're like, tell us where you like get dropped down and you have to like swim and stuff and do all that stuff, or you're in the helicopter one and you have to escape the helicopter. I want to hear Beaveman's experience to yours, because yours was like...
Well, he can't tell his own experience?
Well, he said it was like so fun. It wasn't really bad at all. It was like awesome. It was a fun time.
Yeah, but basically you're asking about the two experiences with water survival, right? Between me and Beaveman. Is that... Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The one I enjoyed the most was the first one. That's when it used to be in the Pensacola Naval Air Station, where they would basically it wasn't bad at all. You're on like this boat, and they would parasail you up. I think it's like 1,000 feet, and they would wave these flags at you, right? And that's the disconnect. So when you say parachuting, like we really weren't parachuting. You're parasailing into like 1,000 feet into the Gulf, and there was this moment where you had to get there, you make sure your LPUs are inflated, and you had to blow up this boot raft. It looks like literally like a boot, and it's just for like a one man life raft. And I remember looking over, and there's this navigator, this asshole, like we had to survive 4 hours at that point out in the Gulf. That was it, right? And he's like, they give you a little mini fishing thing, and it's not even a pole with it; it's just like a reel. So he cast this silver spinner type thing out. And I was like, hey man, like we just got to make it 4 hours, bro. Like here's a Snickers or something, right? Or a protein bar. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be okay. Don't draw blood, because the Gulf is notorious for like tiger sharks and bull sharks and stuff like that.
What are you
The
doing?
one I failed and had to go back. Yeah. And the one I failed and had to redo, man, was the Dunker. If you remember that one, man. And that's where this was up at Fairchild. There's this huge pool, and they put this helicopter fuselage down, and they roll it and roll it. Next thing you know, in the last iteration, you're upside down, and they give you blacked out goggles, and you have what's called a Heeds bottle, so you have like maybe 5 minutes of air to escape. And and I couldn't for the life of me on this last iteration find this door, this window latch to get out. And that's one of the things you're supposed to do, is maintain or know where that point of contact is at all time to escape the fuselage. And man, like that's probably the closest I ever came to drowning. And then they had actually the SEER guy was from Michigan. Now that I think about it, this guy back in Moody, they had me in the pool with that guy for like a week, man. He had turned me in this ball type contraption and like put comm cords and all this stuff like that, and he had me so comfortable being uncomfortable where I felt like I could teach that class after he got done with me, and upside down, blacked out, water going through your nose. And if you've never had that feeling, that's a terrible feeling, man. If you remember that, Beaveman.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I was very thankful for that SEER instructor, and what those guys know, man, it's the best training I ever had. But I definitely never want to do that again, especially the Dunker and the actual survival part, up in the woods in Washington State. So
yeah. See, that's what you don't understand, Swan, is some people get to do that training, and some people have to request to do that training.
Okay.
So I wanted to go to SEER school, but if it's not part of your job, you don't go. So I never went to SEER school, even though I really wanted to. What he's talking about, Dunker training, and what you're trying to make fun of me about is that I went to Cherry Point in, what was that, North Carolina or South Carolina?
North Carolina, yeah. North, yeah.
And so mine, he had prolonged training. Ours was, we're going to throw you in the pool in a uniform, and you have to tread water for 10 minutes. And then we're going to pull you out, and then we're going to put you in Dunker training. And they didn't have those, they didn't give you breathing things. You just had to get out. Thankfully, I failed the tread in water because I tried to tread. I was like, I cannot tread water without boots. But I had boots on. I was like, and I told him, like, I don't want to fucking drown. Thankfully, though, they had seals in the water with us. And as soon as I went down, this big buff seal just pushed me so hard, I almost flew up onto the pool deck. And I was like, oh, thank you. I got the fuck out of the pool.
Yeah. I tell you who's superhuman though is those PJs, man. The Air Force has, like when I was on rescue helicopters, that's the guys that would fly in the back with us, man. And I remember we'd literally drop those guys off, man, and they'd be like, "Yeah, come back and hoist us out in like 5 or 10 minutes." They're just sitting there like with a fake survivor or something like that, getting them on a Stokes, And those guys, man, they literally are superhuman, man.
Yeah. So them and the combat control team guys.
Yeah, the combat controllers, and then now it's called special warfare. It used to be called those guys are special tactics. You usually had a lot of combat controllers. You had a PJ, and it's all in the special operations command. Like here, even at Cannon, we have those guys. I think they're in the 26 STS here. But yeah, and then they get a TAC P, and they get a SEER guy assigned to that unit, to keep them sharp on that stuff. But yeah, the actual survival part though, up in the woods in Washington, man, that was really cool, man. But that's the first time I ever think I had like one ab showing, man. It was the skinniest I've ever been, man. Like probably best of shape I've ever been to after that 3 weeks out there.
Yeah, see, they get to do the fun stuff. We had to ask to do that stuff, and only special people got to go. But it's just how the Army is. They're like, if you were really special, we'll let you go starve for 3 weeks or however long it is. And you're not special enough to go. You're not special enough to go be tortured for weeks. And foolishly,
I really want to be tortured.
Yeah, and foolishly, you're like, but I want to go.
Torture me, Daddy.
I just have to go to this school, and I got to go to the field, and blah blah blah. That's a different time.
I've already jumped out of airplanes. Now I want to drown.
Oh, let me drown. I didn't want to drown.
Let me jump out of airplanes and drown.
I'm on the plus side, though, Swan.
Yes.
Since you're making fun of my swimming ability, I was able to make watercraft for survival in jungle operations training school. So if that makes you feel any better.
It makes me feel so much better.
Oh, they taught me how to do that in the Boy Scouts.
Well, good for you. I joined the Army so I wouldn't be in the water.
Yeah, that first part I was talking about in Pensacola when they did it there. Did they make you guys watch Shark Week and all that before all that? They made us watch that.
Oh.
Yeah,
No.
and they had this other boat that I forgot to mention this part of it, but like you're practicing getting out of your parachute if there's a wind in the ocean, right? So you have to dig your heels in this water, and they're pulling you mad fast, man. And like, but they made us watch Shark Week before that. I don't know if they still do that, man, but and some of those things are rusted, man. Your parachute clips there to get out. I could not, for the first time get that first one on, man. I'm sitting there like a spinner myself in this water, so.
I gotta be honest. I don't know if Shark Week was even a show when I was in.
Probably not.
I don't even know. It's very possible that it wasn't. No, when we were in Panama, though, you could see sharks swimming underneath us, and they said, "Don't worry about it because it's not mating season. We wouldn't have you doing this if it was mating season."
Yeah.
They only attack during mating.
Apparently that's their thing. They'll attack.
Well, it depends on the type of shark.
I think those were. I think in Panama is it hammerheads? Maybe.
Oh, hammerheads aren't really that dangerous to people.
You're talking about like Panama City or Panama, like the country Panama down there?
Like the country Panama. Yeah, the country Panama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where we had jungle operation. That was back when they had jungle operation training school.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was a good time. Good time. Oh, I did forget one thing. And then you've seen all the hotties. I wanted to pull up one more. Where is the additional hottie that's probably gonna make you guys all realize who the hottest one out of all of them are. And I'll just pull this up, and this will be, bam. There's your choice right there. Now that
I fucking knew it. It was gonna be you ugly piece of shit.
That's a barrel chasing freedom fighter right there, bro. Oh yeah, man.
Now, if you had to pick between this or this, I feel like the obvious choice
is the woman.
Is the guy in the beret, in the red beret. I feel like this is the obvious
I'm a little biased, and I would pick you over all of those women.
The most autistic ranger in U.S. history.
I'm not a ranger. I can now order the jungle operations. I can now order the jungle tab, though. I told Joe to give me one. Like, give me a jungle tab.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, well, Anthony, I really want to thank you for doing the podcast with us. I hope everybody gets the book, and listeners, you can actually get this book on Amazon. We got the link up there.
It's like $15.
Yeah, I think it's like $15.99 or something like that.
Yeah. And also, not only should you buy it, but you should also go to your library and ask them to get it.
Ooh.
Go to your local library and ask them to carry it. So you should buy it for your friends, and also have it put in your library.
Make sure your community has access.
Yes.
Everyone should just go to the library more often.
They should, because the more you go, the better chance that they'll get rid of those chairs that smell like farts.
Yeah. They need help scaring away the homeless, pissing on the books.
I just went to the library, I think it was last weekend.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you pissed on the books, you savage.
No, I renewed my library card so I could use Hoopla.
All right.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Swan pisses on books.
No, I don't.
Wow.
I could if I wanted to, though.
Also, if you want to get a hold of Anthony, you can check him out on Instagram. It's Marco_Brolo21 on Instagram.
All right. That's pretty sick for a username. I'm not going to lie.
Why would you?
Why would you lie then?
Why would you lie, Nolan? What's the point?
I said I wouldn't, motherfuckers.
But why would you? Why would that be something you would lie about?
Anyway.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me, man. It was a fun one, and it's good to do a funnier one. You know what I mean? And thank you for your time, man. And I appreciate all you guys for at least hearing parts of my story, man. Not too many dick and fart jokes in there, but there's a few in the book itself.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Oh, my bad.
I was thinking for the last segment. I usually tell these really dumb jokes, but I feel like I don't.
Don't subject him.
Nolan, I wasn't going to. I only have 2, so I was thinking that you guys could come up with your best military dumb stupid joke. I know.
I got one of those.
I only have 2, and you don't even have to play my music unless you want to.
I mean,
You want to? You can.
I mean, sure, I'll play your music, and
Okay.
then we'll.
I only have 2, and they're not even military related.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, okay.
So you think you're funny? Do you think you're as funny as the Swan? How about when Swan does a completely dumb joke? Will it make you laugh? Will it make you cry? Does it make you want to drink heavily? Let's find out, because it's time for Dumb Jokes with Swan.
What's a lawyer's favorite drink? Subpoena colada.
Oh my god.
So dumb. Yep, it's dumb. They're dumb on purpose.
Oh.
And you guys want to laugh, and it's okay.
Don't defend them, Swan. Just tell them.
Fuck off, Nolan. Why do they
No.
bury lawyers 10 feet deep instead of 6 feet? Because deep down, they're really good people. That's it. That's all I got. Now give me your dumb military jokes.
Nolan, you got a dumb military joke? You got a Boy Scout joke?
A Boy Scout joke.
No.
No? Okay.
What has 2 hands and fondles little boys? Boy Scout leaders.
Catholic priest.
Boy Scout leaders. Troop leaders.
It's not really a joke, more of just a thought I had. I figured out which troops are safe and which troops are bad. It's very simple. Do they let the boys have the knives? 'Cause think about it. If you're trying to disarm a teenager, you just want to fuck him, and you don't want to get stabbed in the effort.
Okay.
I'm going to save that sound clip where you just said you just want to fuck him. And I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to play it on future shows.
You're
Cool.
welcome. Cool.
All right, here's my joke then.
Mm-hmm.
I love being the best source of sound bites on this whole fucking show.
Yeah, thank you. Guy gets home from airborne school. He's talking to his dad. His dad says, "So, how was it?" And he says, "Dad, it was really hard." He's like, "But I made it through. I made it all the way through to jump week. But then I was in the airplane, and it was my turn to jump, and I couldn't go. I stood in the door, and I could not jump." His dad said, "Oh my gosh, what happened then?" He said, "Well," so the jump master leaned over, whispered in my ear, and he said, "Boy," he said, "if you don't jump out that door, I'm going to pull out my cock, and I'm going to fuck you in the ass." His dad said, "Oh my God, did you jump?" And his son said, "A little at first." Hi-yo.
I wanted to tell that one, but I couldn't make myself come up with it. It was going to fail. So
Oh, it would have been great if you'd have done it.
I know, it would have been
laughed
great
my
if I
ass
would have
off
did
for
it.
that one.
Got anything, Anthony?
I'm trying to. I could think of one. The only thing I can think of is like what's in the Air Force? You know, a guy's survival kit. There's TDY golf clubs and Wi-Fi. And that's all I got, man. There's a typical Marine crayons on me.
Yeah, what's the sound shit makes when it hits the fan? Marine.
Oh shit!
What's the difference between a gay Marine and a straight Marine?
What's that?
Which hole they put the crayons in?
No, a 6-pack.
It's so dumb.
I like mine better.
All right, well, that's it for us, the Slaptail Squad. I want to thank everybody for joining us again. Go buy Anthony's book, Moonchild, available on Amazon. Is that at Barnes & Noble, too? Where else is
Yeah, it's on Barnes & Noble. If you just Google Moonchild by Anthony Dyer, it'll show up on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and pretty much wherever they sell books, you know?
Get the book, read a book. Get it in Norway.
Yeah.
Check it out. Look into the mind of Anthony Dyer. His next book will be about cryptids and the Appalachians. Yeah. And that's it for me, the Beaveman. Thank you to all of our listeners all over the world. Thank you to all of our huge states that listen to us most, like California, Texas, Georgia. I'll be there soon, Georgia. New York, Arizona, Florida. I don't know why you listen to us. And Texas, also don't know why you do, but thank you. We appreciate it. And that's it for me, the Beaveman. Adios, mooch fuckos.
And from the Swan, we have our next Slaptail Nation comedy show on Friday, October 9th at the Wealthy Theater in Grand Rapids. It's going to be Straight to the Gallows, a dark comedy show. So look that up. We'll share that website, thewealthytheater.com. Or no, yeah, I think it's thewealthytheater.com. I might have lied on that.
Yeah.
Bye from the Swan.
Close.
All right, signing off is Nolan Johncock. Everyone have a great day. If you want to book me for any comedy purposes, you can contact me at Nolan Johncock. comedy, junkcomedy at
Doesn't know.
gmail.com. I don't know anymore.
He doesn't know how
He also
email
doesn't know. It
works.
doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to get a hold of him because he doesn't know how email works.
I know how email works. You're just not good at sending them.
Oh, it was sent like 8 times and I have it.
Yeah. All right.
Bullshit.
Anthony's got the last word.
Yes, please, Anthony.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me, man. It was good to, I was sort of saying earlier, good to do a funny room, man. So thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.